Should we fear AI? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this episode right after this.
More to the Story, a show that explores what's happening in the world from a Christian perspective. Subscribe on the platform where you're enjoying the show, or go to freegrace.in to subscribe for email notifications of our releases.
Thanks for watching. I'm Lucas Kitchen, and as long as the AI apocalypse doesn't happen in the next, say, 3 minutes, we're going to answer that question, should we fear AI? So, it's important to understand that there's a difference between self-initiated sentience and stimuli-response protocol. I know that's a mouthful, but here's what it means. You are a self-initiated sentient being. And what I mean by that is that you're designed by God to have your own will, desires, self-initiated behaviors. That's very different from so-called artificial intelligence. All AI systems are essentially stimuli-response protocols, and that means that they require input from an outside source. They then respond to that input. So these AI systems are not self-initiated. Even an AI system which is programmed to be automated in every way is not self-initiated. Now here's an example. You wake up in the morning and you determine that you want to do something. You want to produce something. You want to create something. AI doesn't do that. It does nothing until it has input or has been programmed to be automated. It's very different. So why does that matter? Well, it matters because it defines the types of threats that AI can pose to the human race. So what types of threats does AI pose? Well, there are basically two kinds of threats that can result from AI technology. First of all, automated process accidents. Now, in this type of threat, AI could be programmed to automatically do a task that inadvertently and accidentally hurts someone. Now, we already have these types of accidents in the world today. These types of accidents already exist in our digital ecosystem, and engineers are working to make them go away every day of our lives. Now, a few years ago, I had one happen to me. I had my Google AdSense account shut down because of a programmed protocol that Google follows. I clicked on an ad on my own site, and that action was registered as fraud. Now, this entire process was automated and no human looked at the case. That's why I call it an automated process accident, because I was not engaging in fraud. It was all just a big accident, but Google's protocol was doing what it was programmed to do. So these types of automated process accidents will continue to occur as long as humans continue to be imperfect programmers. So this type of threat is something that can be mitigated by quality engineering and focus on details. And it's already something that tech companies are focused on avoiding. So if you are the recipient of an automated process accident, don't freak out. That's already embedded in our system, and it's just something that we have to work on. But the second threat is much bigger and much more dangerous. The second threat is not directly from AI, but from evil people. You see, people still have a monopoly on evil, right? AI doesn't intend to do anything. It doesn't want to do anything. It doesn't try to do anything, whether good or bad. Remember, it's just a response to stimuli that AI is producing. But people can be incredibly evil. The threat is not directly from AI in this scenario, but from people who will use the latest tools of destruction and deception for their own purposes. And now those tools are AI tools. So when the most destructive weapon was a muzzle-loaded musket, that's what evil people used to destroy life and kill others. When the most destructive weapon was the atomic bomb, that's what evil people wielded to threaten the world. Now, that most destructive weapon is no longer those things. It will soon be AI. And there's virtually no doubt that AI will be what evil people use to kill and harm others. Now, that sounds bleak, but it comes with a caveat. Because the muzzle-loaded musket was also what innocent people used to defend themselves. The atomic bomb in the hands of reasonable governments has also been a worldwide deterrent for large-scale nuclear terrorism. So in the same way, AI will be what innocent people use to defend themselves against evil people who are trying to hurt and kill them. So, as it has always been with any new weapon, there will be both good and bad. There will be both threat and protection that come from AI. And we hear a lot about the threats that AI poses because it's sensational and it's very clickbaity. But we hear very little about the protection that AI will pose. And we'll begin to see more about that in the coming years for sure. So, people say you can't fight fire with fire, but it is certain that AI will be fought with other AI. Evil people will use it, good people will use it, and the battle becomes a digital one. The technological race ensures that both good and bad players will have access to this technology, and it will be a Wild West scene for a little while as we wait for it all to balance out. But eventually things will balance out and we will find equilibrium between the powers of destruction and the drive to preserve life. Now, it's not going to be easy and it will take massive innovation, but provided that there are good, God-fearing people on the side of innocence, they will continue to find a way to protect others. Now, here's a little piece for those of you that have believed in Jesus. God is bigger than AI, and if you are a believer, you have hope that the rest of the world doesn't. No matter how complex an AI system gets, it is still infinitesimally small compared to God's intellect, His sovereignty, His omnipotence. God has made eschatological promises to us about the arc of history, and He is powerful enough to bring those about. Now, no doubt, AI might play a role in eschatology, but we know who wins in the end. Take hope and rest on peace, that peace that Christ offers to you when you set your mind on Him. He is the victor in all things. He is not afraid of ChatGPT or Midjourney. Christ is bigger. And He will very likely allow us to use AI to enhance our lives and bring others to consider grace. That's right, I said AI can be used to bring others to think about the faith. You see, AI is already being used to share the gospel. I know this because I've been doing it for about 6 months. I'm not the only one either. There are many who have been using AI to talk about the faith and to help others discover Jesus. I've used AI to write scripts for gospel videos. I've used AI to produce visual content that facilitates contemplation about the faith. AI is already being used as a tool by me and many others to share the gospel and to talk openly about faith in Christ. So, we live in an exciting time of technology. Now, of course, our age requires a healthy level of skepticism and wariness,